There has always been one controller, one elusive controller that has always been a little bit too expensive for me to justify buying, but I've always really wanted. And I have a lot of controllers, so it has nothing to do with needing. This is my control freak problem, but I've been scouring eBay for a good price on a used one, and that's what we got today. Let me show you. My very own MIDI Fighter. The MIDI Fighter 3D, I know there's lots of versions of these. I've always wanted my own. I've always just been fascinated by the aesthetic, by the arcade buttons. Wow. Just that sound, love that sound. The lights on it, all that. Like I said, I got a really good price for it on eBay. It's one of those things, like if you're into gear, it can be a pretty expensive habit. And I'm fortunate to be in a place where I make videos about gear, so companies send them a lot of the time. It's not the case for this MIDI Fighter, so I just went back to my old strategies of, before I had the channel. It's looking around Craigslist, eBay, Reverb.com, any of the used websites, and just checking them periodically. If there's one piece of gear that you really want, but you feel like it's just a little bit too expensive for you to drop the cash on, if you just keep checking back month after month, a couple weeks at a time, and luckily I was able to get myself the MIDI Fighter 3D for under $200. Let's make some beats with it. Alright, I've put together what I think is a fun little set on the MIDI Fighter. Here's all the sounds I chose. First up, some marimba action. Next up, basic drum kit, kick, snare, brighter snare, little click perk sound. Kid saying alright sample, and a hey.
Alright.
Follow it up with some 808s. Don't forget the hi-hats. Rolls and all. And finally, the vocal sample. And put that all together and we have one really cool, minute-long looping routine, which I'm super stoked for. I've been practicing it a little bit so far, but I need to go set up the cameras and do a proper shoot with it. I want to share that with you right now, so I want you to check out the session, my very first session with the MIDI Fighter, and let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. But after the session, please stick around, because I have something important to talk about that has to do with this session that we're about to record. So let's get to it. My first beat.
All right.
My first beat with the MIDI Fighter. So you just saw what was a really fun session with the MIDI Fighter. But a caller on a recent Mentor Monday raised a valid question about seeing people do performances and watching people do something really, really well, like watching really high level performances. And I wouldn't even consider what I just did a super high level performance, but it does leave people scratching their heads like, how was it done and how can I do something similar? And I tried to get across the fact that you see the minute of finished performance with the MIDI Fighter, but what you don't see is the hour or so before that of like practicing that routine over and over again. And what you definitely don't see is the many mistake shots of me just messing up and not getting it right. Because even though the session's a minute, I was doing take after take after take and messing up, you know? And to just keep things grounded, I want to show you all a little bit of my failed attempts and just a quick montage of me just messing up so that you can know that that is real. And what's very, very important is that you just don't stop, you keep going. Because if I had stopped after take 3, 4, 5, 10, I wouldn't have had that really fun session. I wouldn't have this really cool video to make. And what you have to really do is just trust the process and trust that practice is going to pay off. Now, sometimes it means just walking away and taking a short break, but you're not walking away from it forever. You're just taking a break, you're coming back to it, you're trying things over and over and over again until they work. And the frustrating part, the most frustrating part, is sometimes I will do a session and in the first 1, 2, or 3 takes, I'll nail it, I'll get it done, it'll be so easy. And then other sessions, it just takes more time. Depends on the day, depends on the mood, depends on what's on your mind, depends on how much you've practiced. A lot of different factors combined determining how long it's going to take you to get a session down, but don't stop, keep practicing, practice, 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 and don't give up. Check out this quick montage of me failing with the MIDI Fighter. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought in a comment down below. Peace.